Now, think about the most valuable asset you own in 2026. Whether you're a Fortune 500 CEO or a small business owner, let's say you're in Nairobi or even you're in Lagos. Now, the answer is the same. It's your data. And right now, there's a global invisible war being fought to control it. Welcome back to Security Unpacked, and I'm your host, Adeola. Today we're talking about you. Yes, you. Now, not as a potential victim, but as a defender. If you've been looking at the cybersecurity career path and felt like you were staring at a brick wall with no footholds, this episode is your ladder. We're in a unique moment. Globally, the cybersecurity market is projected to exceed 520 billion this year. Yet, we're facing a staggering talent gap. The world is short of roughly 4.8 million professionals in Nigeria and across Africa. Now, this is not just a talent shortage. It's a critical bottleneck for our digital economy. But here's the paradox. The industry screams for people, yet entry-level job boards demands 5 years of experience. Today, we're going to demystify the break-in. We're moving past the learn-to-code cliches that we all know about and exploring the rise of AI-driven security roles, the strategic value of global standards, and how to bridge the remuneration gap that often drives our best minds across borders. Whether you're in Lagos, whether you're in Accra, or even working remotely from, let's say, a firm in Singapore or somewhere, this is your blueprint. Let's start with the hard numbers. In cybersecurity, data is the only truth. Nigeria is the fintech capital of Africa, but that crown comes with a target. In January 2026, Nigerian organizations faced an average of 4,701 cyber attacks per week. That is a 12% increase year on year. Now, when you see a headline like, you remember the OPS Bank incident, where 10 billion naira was moved in a flash, you shouldn't just see a crisis, you should see a job description. Now, every breach is a signal that our defenses are under-resourced. The gatekeepers make it worse. They make it actually very tough. Now, research shows that nearly 90% of hiring managers, they prioritize candidates with foundational certification or even demonstrable lab experience. However, the type of talent needed is shifting. Now, we've moved beyond the era of the generalists. In 2026, the demand is for specialized resilience. Now, if you're coming from a non-tech background, maybe you're a lawyer, you're a banker, or an administrator, you have a Trojan horse into this industry. The GRC. Governance, risk, and compliance. Companies don't just need people to configure firewalls. They need people who understand the rules of a digital world. They need professionals who can translate the Nigerian Data Protection Act or even the global privacy mandates into business strategy. Now, the experience gap becomes your advantage when you stop trying to be a programmer and start being a risk strategist. Organizations are increasingly looking for demonstrable competence over specific degrees. Now, how do you move from searching for a job to being headhunted? You need to speak the language of international standards. While technical skills gets you into the room, understanding frameworks keeps you at the table. For instance, ISO 27001 is essentially the global gold standard for managing information security. Now, it's not just a technical checklist, it's a management system. It tells an employer, I understand how to protect the entire organization. Now, not just the server room, In our work at the Cyberguard Lounge, we see this constantly. A local startup wants to partner with a global giant. The first question is not how fast is your code, it's how do you manage risk. If you're a professional who understands these global frameworks, whether it's ISO, whether it's NIST, or even the local regulatory mandates, you become a security architect. You transform and transition from the engine room to the bridge of the ship. These standards provide the playbook for the 93 controls updated in the most recent ISO 27002 revision, covering everything from physical security to how we handle data in the cloud. Now, by mastering this, you're not just good for your local markets, you're ready for the global stage. It's about building a foundation of trust that is recognized in any boardroom, anywhere in the world. Now, let's pivot to the most transformative force in our industry, artificial intelligence. Now, there's a common fear that AI is coming for cybersecurity jobs. Let's correct that. AI won't take your job, but a professional who knows how to use AI definitely will. In 2026, we're seeing the rise of entirely new roles that didn't exist 3 years ago. Now, we now have AI threat modelers. These are professionals who figure out how a hacker might poison a company's machine learning data. We have SecOps automation engineers who use AI agents to handle the overwhelming noise of thousands of daily alerts so humans can focus on the real threats. Now, if you're a student or a career changer, you should be looking into AI governance. As companies integrate generative AI, they are terrified of data leaks and biased outputs. Now, if you can audit an AI system for security, you're holding a golden ticket. But we must address the remuneration gap. It's no secret that the brain drain is fueled by the search for better pay. A mid-level analyst in West Africa is often doing the same high-stakes work as one in Northern America, yet the compensation package varies wildly. However, for those with specialized knowledge, those who master AI security or global compliance frameworks, the gap is shrinking. Now, companies are realizing it's cheaper to pay a global standard salary to a local expert than to lose them to an international firm. Now, to beat the local salary ceiling, you must provide global standard value. So now, how do you actually execute this? How do you move from listener to practitioner? Now, it starts with portfolio building. Stop collecting attendance certificates and start building a portfolio of proof. Now, if you're a penetration tester, show me your bug bounty reports. If you're a GRC analyst, show me a mock risk assessment you've performed on an hypothetical fintech. Now, this is why we created the Cyberguard Lounge. We saw the disconnect between studying and doing. Now, we don't just offer training, we provide mentorship and strategic advisory. For individuals, we guide you through the noise, helping you decide if your path is AI security, cloud defense, or even global audits. Now, for organization, we provide the advisory and audits that turn your security from a cost center into a competitive advantage. We train your teams not just to pass exams, but to defend your 10 billion naira assets in real time. So breaking into cybersecurity in 2026 is a three-pronged strategy, I would say. The first is the technical foundation. Understand the how of data movement. Very important. Number 2, strategic frameworks. Master the why of global security standards. Number 3, AI fluency. Secure the algorithms that are now running our world. The real innovation is not just happening in traditional tech ops. It's happening here. When an African fintech survives a week of 5,000 attacks, that is world-class engineering. You can be a part of that story. Now, as we wrap up episode 4, remember this. The door to cybersecurity is not locked. It's just heavy. It takes a specific key to open it. That key is a mix of relentless curiosity, a commitment to international standards, and the bravery to keep learning while the technology shifts. The talent gap is not a tragedy, it's an invitation. Africa isn't just a target, it's a training ground for the best defenders the world has ever seen. So if you're ready to take that step, whether you're an individual seeking a career pivot or a business looking for high-level audit and training, reach out to us at the Cyberguard Lounge. We're building the future of digital trust, one professional at a time. I'm Adiola, and this is Security Unpacked. Like I always say, stay secure, stay curious, and I'll see you in the next episode.